Hi everyone. Okay, I am in another new location. I'm back at my house and we're going to do a quick read for today. So, the message today was, I was mostly just hearing the song Sweet Dreams Are Made of This. I don't know who the artist is, but I kept hearing that song, and then when I started shuffling, we got Dreams Mean Something probably. But it was coming out with an anxious energy. So you guys are stressing out about something that isn't real yet. Or you're stressing out about future circumstances that maybe you're overthinking, or these are deep-rooted insecurities that are coming to the surface that you are fixating on. And then with the song Sweet Dreams Are Made of This, it's like you guys could be stressing out over the things that you are dreaming about, these things that you want to make a reality, but you're struggling to make a reality. So you could just be stressing out over how to bring your ideas and your dreams to life. Maybe you don't have the financial means to make these things real. Maybe you don't think that you're good enough. Like maybe that's the deep-rooted insecurities that are coming to the surface that are just stressing you out and honestly keeping you up at night. Because it's like you have a vision of what you want to do and what you want to create. You honestly, this fear could be you not thinking that you're good enough, but also being afraid to be seen as well. Because it's like you have very big dreams. You have a vision for how you want all of this to play out, but it's like you're overthinking every little thing about it. You could be a perfectionist, so it's scary to put your project on a platform, like on social media, and trying to gain a following. Like, you could just be really scared because you don't know how people are going to respond, if people are going to be mean. Maybe you don't do well with criticism. And I keep saying maybe because it's like it just feels like you're going back and forth with every single thought that pops into your head. You're like, oh, this could work. No, it couldn't. And it just feels like you're in this kind of stuck in a rut. It's almost like you're hindering your creative potential because you're so scared of this thing not working out. Or you could just be scared that people aren't going to reciprocate the love that you have for this thing. And there's this element of you wondering, you're like, should I just keep this thing close to my chest? Or is this something that people are actually going to relate to? Is this something that people are going to like and love and want to support? Or is this just something that I enjoy and should keep to myself? Because it is, and especially if this is something very personal to you, if this is you wanting to create music or write a book or write a musical, write a play, it almost feels like this project this artwork, whatever this is, it feels very, very personal. Sorry if you hear that, it's the AC, it's really loud. I'm sorry. But it feels like this thing you're wanting to create and put out into the world, put on social media, is very personal. You've kept this thing very close to your chest. You could have been working on creating this thing for years. And it's like you're going back and forth. You're like, should I put this out into the world or should I keep working on it? Like, is it ready? Are people gonna like it? Or should I just put this on the back burner? Because once it's out there, it's up for critique, right? Once you put it out, it's almost like it's no longer yours. It's up for discussion of whether it's good or not, whether it's worthy of making a new life of its own, or if it's just meant to not really go as far as you want it to, and that can be extremely heartbreaking as well. And it is, it's like you're beating yourself up over this, but this could be an extremely personal thing. For example, if you were a musician writing a song, you could have wrote a song that was maybe about heartbreak, maybe about something traumatic that happened in your past. And it's almost like this thing could be so emotional and so emotionally tied to something you had to overcome that it's like the weight of that and the love that you have for that song could make you not want to sing it for anybody ever, because you're like, what if I sing this for people? What if I post this onto TikTok and people don't get it, or people don't relate to it, or what if it's too sad, or what if nobody cares about it? You know, that's just how this feels. It's like you're going back and forth on so random. Yeah, okay. So random, but that's like I love Noah Khan so much. I love that man so much. But in his documentary or in an interview somewhere, he was saying that he almost didn't name the album Stick Season, or he almost didn't want to talk about Stick Season in his album and his song because he felt like that was too niche. Is that the word? Like, he thought that people wouldn't understand what he was trying to say with Stick Season. He's like, that's pretty much just a Vermont thing, and nobody's gonna understand what I'm talking about. But then he put out Stick Season, and me, being from California, had absolutely no idea what Stick Season was, but it didn't matter because I fully understood the experience that he was talking about. And so many of us did, even though I feel like a lot of people have never experienced a stick season of just living in a state where it gets really cold and dark and lonely and empty. I've thankfully never had to go through that. I've lived in California my whole life. But I understand that feeling of the emptiness, the hollowness, the darkness when you have to shut the blinds because you don't want to see the sun because the sun doesn't feel good. And that's just a little tangent, but that's relating that back to you. That's how this feels. It's like you almost feel like this thing is too niche and people aren't going to understand your experience or what you're trying to say, but you need to understand that if people relate to what you're talking about, they will always be able to relate it to their own experience. And it really doesn't matter how niche your topic is, because if it's meant to find the right audience, it will. So that is not something that you need to, that shouldn't be the reason why you don't move forward with putting this project out into the world. Okay. But it is, and it's like you could have maybe had disagreements with people. You could have fought with people. As I said earlier, I was just getting the feeling of you having difficulty taking constructive criticism. So that could be another thing where if somebody tried to, or if somebody has ever tried to critique what you are creating, you could have maybe not taken it well, like at all. And that's okay. It's because you care about this thing. You're emotionally attached to this thing. And so when somebody has something negative to say about it, obviously that's going to hurt you. But also, if somebody is sitting there trying to tell you how you could make this thing better, of course, and especially if you are someone who's more stubborn, you could have, with people, gotten a little frustrated and been like, who are you to tell me how to do my thing? Who are you to tell me how to write my song? Who are you to tell me how to write my story? There's just an element of you kind of not wanting to hear feedback from people, or getting a little upset over hearing feedback from people. But again, you need to, if this is something that you want to pursue, and this is a project that you want to put out into the world to hopefully gain momentum from, gain a following from, gain financial freedom from, you have to know that there are always going to be haters. And not just haters, but there are always going to be people who don't relate and don't like what you're doing. You could make the greatest movie of all time, and there are going to be people who don't like it. You could create the greatest song of all time. There are going to be people who hate it. Adele has haters. Who else is like the greatest of all time? Why can I only think of Adele? Noah Kahan has haters, and that's wild. Noah Kahan didn't even get nominated for, or Stick Season didn't even get nominated for a Grammy. That doesn't make any sense. Like, it's one of the best albums I've ever heard in my life, and it didn't get nominated for a Grammy. He even submitted it, and it didn't qualify. When you approach creation, when you approach artistry and putting your projects out into the world through love, okay, I hope this makes sense. When you do all things through your love of doing it, you can never be disappointed, right? If you post a song, if you post your short film, if you submit your play, your musical, your business idea. Um, if you, dang, okay, if you apply for a small business loan and you have to convince people that your business is worth investing in, I just believe that if you do it with the right intentions and unconditional love for said thing, project, idea, opportunity, then it could never fail. If you are putting things out into the world with the main intention of being to win people over or to get people's money or to get approval from people, from others, other strangers, people in your YouTube comments, if that is the main thing that you're searching for, you're always going to be unhappy and you're always going to be unsuccessful because you're going to be chasing something. You're going to be chasing the approval from people who don't matter, have nothing to do with what you're creating. So just focus on the love that you have towards this project. Focus on the people who actually do support your project. And you will always be successful. But it comes with a lot of hard work as well. That can also be a message of you need to play the long game in this thing. Success does come overnight for some people. That is not the case for this thing, okay? You have to put in the work. This isn't going to happen overnight. So you're not going to be a millionaire overnight, okay? And I'm sorry. That's not how life works. It does for the very rare, but that's not the case for the rest of us, okay? You have to play the long game and don't give up after a couple months just because things aren't working out the way that you planned. You have to give this thing time to gain momentum, okay? So play the long game. Don't give up after a couple weeks, couple of months. Just because you're like, I don't have 10 million followers yet. And it's like, you've been doing this for 2 days. That's not how it works, okay? That's not how it works. But I see this thing being successful. Okay, we have the Ace of Pentacles. Okay, but it comes after working your butt off. It comes after working your butt off, but look, it comes with a lot of work, and that could be another thing. I mean, maybe this is your side hustle that you want to make a reality, and maybe you're working a full-time job and you're taking care of your kids and you're being a wife, you're being a husband, and you only have so much time, money, and effort to put into this thing. And so that could also be the frustration where you're just like, is this even worth my time if it's not going to be successful? But again, if you approach all things with love and passion and you stop worrying about receiving, because it feels like you're stuck in a rut because you're not receiving enough back. You're not receiving enough attention. You're not receiving enough followers, enough money, enough fame. But when you stop thinking about that and you just approach this thing as a passion project, first of all, you'll start to enjoy it more, and people will latch on to the passion and love that you have for it, and through that, they will feel that they will start to approach it in the same way. Because if they think you're just doing it for money, that's going to turn a lot of people off, right? People love and support creators who you can just tell that they love what they're doing, period. Right? So that just feels like that's the message. You need to stop worrying about not getting enough back. Because that's not what this is about. You're doing this because you love it. So do it because you love it, and you will always be successful in it. Okay. Love you guys. Bye.